Okay, if you're just joining us, please change your name into your school, your name and also your school, so I know who is in here. You can also post up to your detail in the chat as well. So I see here Muhammad Aidil Adha from College Vocational Pasir Mas Kelantan. Hi, nice to meet you. Okay, we'll start in 3 minutes time. We'll start exactly at 9:05. Just give a bit of time for people to join into the call. Everyone else, you can also put in your details so I know who you are. I see there is a LK0208. Who is that? We also have Cikgu Claudius. Hi, Cikgu Claudius from Labuan. And then we have Cikgu Chi Woon. And then we have Cikgu Madeline. And who else? Cikgu Sheila, Cikgu Rizwan from UPM. Hi, everyone. Okay, we are 1 minute away. Oh, apparently we are expecting 40 people. So maybe we wait a little bit more. We are only at 11, only 25%. Okay, we are almost time to go. Just wait for another like 30 seconds. Hi, Cikgu Sheila. Good morning. Okay, I'm just gonna start first. So whoever that joined later, you are probably watching this from recording. So we are starting now at 10:05. So again, welcome everyone. Just to give a little bit introduction, my name is David. So I am the co-founder for Arus Academy. In Arus, my job is to head the Media Information Literacy program. What we are about to learn today, the card game, is actually one of our production in Arus, and thanks to the amazing team, we are publishing the first ever media literacy game in Malaysia. So currently, I am actually not in Malaysia. I am actually all the way in the US. I'm in Nashville right now, doing a fellowship program under the sponsorship of the United States. One of the Fulbright program, but you know it's only 9 p.m. so I'm still very excited to be here with everyone. Just to check before I proceed further, am I audible? Am I loud and clear to everyone? Can you just say yes or no in the chat? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, very good, Sham. Everyone else, can you hear me very clear? Okay, good. So yeah, welcome. So this is the briefing and also training for Project Pandai Media. This is a program powered by the US Embassy, United States Embassy in Kuala Lumpur, Arus Academy, and also our Media Education for All movement. And this is supported by the Malaysian Ministry of Education. So welcome everyone for this call. So today our training is going to be about 90 minutes. It's going to go from different section. The first section is that we are going to talk about what is Project Pandai Media, what is this card game, and what is this small grant competition that we are talking about. Second is that we're going to talk a little bit about why is it so important for us to learn media information literacy. And then we're going to do a little bit of game demonstration, how to play the Follow Me card game. And then we'll go into the next step. So at the end of the training, and if you're watching this for recording, don't worry. All you need to do is that follow through the recording, follow through the training, go through everything, and then just submit the feedback form, and you will be getting a training certificate and also a set of the Follow Me card game. You'll be among the first people in Malaysia to receive this card game. I'm very excited. It's being printed right now. I'm very excited all of you to have on your hands on the game. If at any point you have any questions, just type in the chat. I will address them if I could. Or you can also just preferably not, but you can also unmute and ask questions. But I'll prefer if you just type the question in the chat. I'll get to it when I have the time to go through it. So let me just start it off. What is Project Pandai Media? So when we started this project, we have this one driving question, right? We're just like doing any other action research. Can we teach media information literacy using a gamification approach? And once we have taught our students this MIL skill, can we then allow them to create positive change in the community? This is our driving question when we started this project. And thanks to the help of US Embassy, we are in the very middle process of doing it, and we will soon be able to see the result of it. So there are three main phases in this Project Pandai Media. The first is that we are going to create a card game, which all of you will be getting a set. I have one set over here with me in the US. This is not the final production, but what you'll be getting is a really, really nicely designed game card box with all the cards that you need and a guidebook, and also a lesson plan on what you can do with the cards. And that's the first part. In the second part, we are doing training and workshop for school teachers so that you guys know how to teach media information literacy using our card game. And the next step is that now that you know how to teach, we hope that you can bring this to your students, teach them about media literacy so that they can then carry out community projects, so to impact more people. Okay, so this is a card game that we create specifically to teach media information literacy. Understanding that media information literacy can be a very complicated concept. It may be very difficult to teach in a situation where a lot of school teachers, and I know especially for secondary school or maybe sometimes college vocational as well, the public school, you do not have computer in school. You do not have devices in the classroom, but you want to teach media information literacy. So the best way to do that is to play a card game. All you need to do is just to bring the cards in the classroom or bring a few sets. We have a lesson plan that comes with it. Follow through the lesson plan and let the students learn about media information literacy. Okay. This card game is made with the with these three objectives in mind. The first is that we want the students to be able to understand the role of media and how they affect the society. So this is the first thing. And then second thing is that we want to, just 1 second, you see there's someone talking. We wanted the students to also learn the importance and also the ethics of spreading information. What can you share? What should you share? And what should you not share? And then to get them to critically analyze and categorize the content that is given to them and identify its authenticity, whether it's true or not true, and credibility. Can we believe it or not? So all of this is being propagated using the card game. And it's a really, really simple game. It's meant to be played between 8 to 10 players. I'll explain more about the card game later. Okay, we'll play a few simple rounds. Section 2, we are going to do training, which is what we are doing today. And part 3 is that we're going to get the kids to learn media information literacy and then get them to create projects so that they can teach more people in the community. We believe that youths, young people nowadays, they are going to be the change maker, and teachers are going to help them to enable them to become change maker. You are basically the battery that power up their engine. Okay. So what is this small grant competition? This is a small grant competition is that we want the students to create community project. We are going to give them financial support to carry out this community project. And this is going to be an international competition where we're going to involve other countries to take part in it. So your students, if they take part in it, it can be part of the international level achievement. This is only open to students that is 13 years old, 25 years old. It's not open to primary school. However, if you are primary school teachers, we still welcome you to join this training. You can still get a card game, but perhaps you will not be able to get your students to take part in the competition. The reason for that is that we expect the students to be a little bit more independent, and it's very difficult for them to do a community project if they are too young. That's why we are hoping to impact students between the age of 13, which is from 1, all the way until 25, which is around university undergraduate year. And every student will form a unit of 2 to 3 students per group. Here are some of the important dates that you should remember. The competition form is going to be done through a Google form. So all you need to do is to get your students to submit through the Google form what they plan to do with the project, which I'll explain later. And then we'll see whichever the top project will get the micro grant, the small grant to carry out these projects. And then what we are going to do next is that we are going to make sure that all of our participants who win the small grant will actually carry out this project to the committee. And we're going to come back together and have an online summit with all the finalists of the competition. Okay. So what is waiting for you? For teacher, step 1 is to attend the workshop, which is what you're doing now. By attending the workshop for everyone, you will get a certificate of participation, so that if you're a government school teacher, you can use this certificate to get your LADAP points. And then after that, the link will be given later. So there are a few criteria that you need to fulfill before submitting to the project. So next is that the students will learn about media literacy from you who have attended the workshop. And then you will submit the entry to the competition. And then the students will get a certificate of participation at the state level. We will choose the best project. We will give them the certificate achievement. Basically, now they have amazing project ready. Now it's time to implement the project, which will give them the money to get it. And then we choose the best national project, and then they will all compete with each other to fight at the international level. But really, when I say fight, the only one that is everyone gets to win, especially the committee. They will get to learn important MIL skills from your students. Okay, so how it looks like in terms of the journey is that step 1, you will need to attend a training. We have already finished our physical training in Kota Kinabalu and also in Alor. So now what we are doing is that we're doing a second online training in English. Our first online training is in Bahasa. This is the second online training. If you are not able to join any of the online training or physical training, don't worry. Our training is available online to you as a video recording. So you can always just rewatch it. You'll be up there for a very long time. Just watch it, submit the form, and you still get the same benefit of attending the workshop. And then we would like you to conduct activity in the class. Later in the feedback form, we actually ask you to put in your address. So this is where you get to put in your address. Where would you like to receive the game? So the game is made into 3 different languages. Actually, it's made into 4 different languages. It's made in Bahasa Melayu. It's made in English. It's made in Chinese. It's also made in Bahasa Indonesia. So we'll ask you to request whichever language that you want. Every teacher will get 1 set. So if your school have multiple teachers, multiple teams, you can obviously get more set. But each teacher must attend this briefing and training separately. So next is that the students will get to learn media information literacy skill from you. And finally, your job as a teacher, once you have already teach your students, is to guide the students to submit the project Pandai Media Small Grant Competition paper. And the students will obviously build the group and also create collaborative work among themselves to take part in this competition. So this is how we are judging you when we ask you to submit your project. So the marking scheme, we have a rubric available to you, which will be available to you in a follow-up email later. So it's split into these 5 different categories. The first one is that we would like the students to understand the current issues relating to media information literacy. So this is all the criteria we're looking for. The second part is the solution itself. We are looking for a solution that is realistic, implementable, and can really address the problem statement. Okay? And then next is that we would like to see how you want to spend our money. When we give you the money, we expect you to tell us in detail how you're going to spend each of these money items and show us how you plan to save costs or reduce costs. We also hope to get high impact per dollar. So if there are 2 projects, project A, I give $500, they impact 5 students, 5 parents. Project B, I give them $500, they impact 50 people. So obviously the second team B will have a much higher score because they have a high impact per dollar spent. And then we want to see your action plan. We want to know in a team who is doing what. We want to know what is the timeline, you know. First day do what, second day do what, third day do what. What do you need to do? What is the output, you know? Not what you want to do bank hill, not what bank hill. How many bank hill you plan to do? How are you going to recruit the participants? All these things. We also hope that the action plan will tell us what are the potential challenges and what do you plan to do to overcome these challenges. And finally, we want to involve teacher in changing the community. So in this project, there is a 10% score that is given in terms of teacher participation. So one of the criteria that we want a teacher to do, if you can, is to conduct media information literacy activity in the classroom beyond the training, before the students submit the paper. So we are giving you the tool to do it. We hope that you can use our tool, which is the cut in. So the more students you impacted with the card game, the more score you get. We'll give you a tracking sheet, just have to fill in the name, fill in the details, and send us photos. That counts for the first 2 categories of scoring, where that's number 1, to tell us how many students you do the program with, and number 2, to give us some of the photos and video of the school committee involvement. Third is that we are working with the researcher, because we also want to see whether this game can really be effective or not in a more academic sense. So we are working with researcher, and there's effectiveness assessment survey, kajian keberkesanan. So we actually, it's not mandatory, but we hope that you can help us to take part in it. It's very, very simple. We have all the questions ready. You have to give it to the students to fill it out, and then either you scan it and give back to us, or you just post it back to us. It's that simple. So all in all, this is a competition that has 5 components, which is listed as such. Number 1 is understanding the problem statement. Number 2 is your solution. Number 3 is your action plan. Number 4 is your financial plan. And number 5 is what is the school involvement in this. Okay, so the link to submit this will be given later, so don't need to worry, because before the students actually do this project, there is one more step that needs to be done, which is your job. As a teacher, you have to teach our students how to get these media information literacy skills. Okay, and then finally in December, we're going to do an international online summit. We're going to get all the winners come together to present their project, and the winner of that get an additional 500 ringgit grant to bring the project to the next level. This is going to be top 5 from the top 2 countries for a total of 10 presentation. So if your project is really, really good and you do it really, really well, you stand a chance to win an additional money to do more community work. Okay. So before we go further, do you have any questions in your head that you want to ask? You can type in the chat, and I will see whether this is a question I can help you with or not. So if you have any question, do type in the chat right now. I'm gonna give you like 1 minute to type the question if you have any question. Otherwise, you can think about it. What do you want to ask? Oh, I see someone asking a question. How do you get the card? Excellent question, Jago Noazban. You will be getting the card after you fill in the form. It will take about 1 week. When we get the card, when the card is produced, we will post it back to you. Yes, if you want, second question, the link to submit we'll give you later, so don't worry. We'll give you an update in the email, giving you all the information you need. How many teams per school? As many as you want. If you have another teacher, if you can register another teacher in this, then you get another set of the card game. So there's no limit on how many teams per school, as many as you can, as many as you want, as many as you can support. That is a very, very important question. If you want card big, can you buy from us? Of course you can. In the first batch, we're only producing 1,000 sets. No, we are only producing 800 sets. We'll have some set extra. These extra sets will be available to you if you would like to buy. Or alternatively, if you just want more sets, if your school can give us more teachers, then we can give you more sets. We are limited to only one teacher get 1 set only. So if you can convince your colleague to take part in it, just get the teacher to watch the recording, and then we'll send a second set to you in the same school. The card game, because it's very, very new and we don't have a lot of volume, so we are actually planning to sell it at about 80 ringgit. That will be including everything. Postage settlement included, 80 ringgit for the card game. We also plan to make the card game available online. So if you don't want to get the nicely printed card from us, you can obviously always go and download and print it out yourself. Okay, those are very, very good questions. Is there any other question? If there's no question, I'm going to go on to the next one. Why is it important to study media and information literacy skill? Now look at this picture. This is, no, the card is free. Cikgu Lindiana, the card is free. Every teacher who comes will get 1 set for sure. But if you want more set, either you send more teachers for this workshop or you can buy from us. But even if you want to buy from us, we are not selling them until we finish giving it out to all the teachers. It's available on a first come, first serve basis. We are making 150 sets for Malaysian teacher. It comes in 3 different languages. So you have to tell us which language you want. Pretension has to be, no, doesn't have to be. You can do it in Bahasa, you can do it in English. So depending on the subject that you do. So one thing we know is that some teachers, when they join this program, because our cards are in English, they use it as English learning activities because there's a lot of discussion, a lot of communication. So they use it as an English learning activity. And they use a proposal writing as also an English learning activities. But there's no limit to that. You can use Bahasa, you can use English. Only these 2 languages is allowed. Okay? So coming back to our presentation, what is the message conveyed by this image below? This person is holding a knife, but every one of you who paints it differently. And now, given the current situation, this is something that we really need to think about, given all the conflicts in the world. Yes, Cikgu Azman, different person can get different perspective. The picture, the fact is there. This is a guy holding a knife. Tapi if you see the guy in orange, paint him as holding a gun, which is a more deadly weapon. Someone painted him as holding some heart, and then someone said that he's holding a dove. So depending on where your perspective is, depending on where your opinion is, you will see the picture differently. Now, in Malaysia, we see this all the time. This is an example of, we'll see an example later, but this is one thing that I want you to think about, right? Given a neutral fact, something that happened, are all the news reporting the same thing? I give one very good example, right? Yesterday, our Prime Minister just announced our budget. So if you look at the newspaper today, and I can guarantee you, every newspaper will focus differently. In fact, I already saw this morning, I saw some Chinese newspaper just headline is, harga barang naik, because tax akan increase and all these things. Some say, kerajaan akan membuatkan target subsidy. So different news media report differently, right? This is something that we already know. But given the situation that we saw just now, the same picture, now that is even more clear. Now, I'll give you one very good example. This is a news about Azmin and Khalid. This is back in 2014. Same news, but it's different message. Sinar Harian said that Azmin puji Khalid. Tapi utusan pula says that Azmin critic Khalid. Same news, same events, and then News Straits Times says bitterness over Azmin. And then the Star said, I will get cracking. So you see, the same situation, everything is in different perspective. You look at another news, this is a news where the dog found a baby crying in the drain, in the longkang. The Star says that dog alerts owner to dump baby. Berita Harian says that salahkan anjing menyelamatkan nyawa bayi dalam longkang. Metro, nyaris dipaham anjing. So you see, when you read this thing, your emotion also will be different. The dog went from a hero in the Star and Berita Harian to become the villain, to become the bad guy in Metro. But of course, you would know that Metro likes to sensationalize the news. So you see, same news, different outcome. Let's look at one more recent example, right? But before we go into that, so one thing we have to know is that media ownership, political perspective, individual interests play a very big role in the type of content created. Now, given, for example, what just happened in Israel and also Gaza, different news will take different stance. If you read Malaysian news, it's one particular stance. If you read US news like Fox, CNN, MSNBC, they will have a different view as well. So every media channel have their own agenda, their ownership, who owns them, their political view. All of this. Is someone saying something? Okay, I'm going to mute Cikgu Huaida here. So depending on the media and their agenda behind it, they will report differently. Okay. Now, something we have to consider is the type of media. So what kind of media is it? Newspaper, TikTok, television. Different news media have different kind of population they want to engage. They want them to subscribe. Newspaper, the audience is one set. People who read newspaper and people who watch online podcasts might be entirely different set of people. People who listen to radio and people who watch TikTok are also different people. So different media channels have different population they're going for. And we have to understand different media channels also have political stance. In Malaysia, for example, Haraka, which is past newspaper, they have their own political stance. The Star, which is owned by UMNO, if I'm not mistaken, have their own political stance. So every one of them have their own political stance. Second, what is the age range? Television, who watches television nowadays? TikTok, who watches TikTok nowadays? So different media channel, different media agency, they have different age group as their followers or their readers. And lastly, whether the audience is living in kampong or living in urban also affects the kind of news that they put out. For someone who primarily report news to, for example, Kelantan, there's no point in telling them about what's happening in KL because that is not their focus. There's no point telling them about, important issues affecting urban people. But people in rural area, they have different focus that they want to read. So these things affects the kind of news that the media put out. It affects the kind of angle that the media put out. Now, one very good example, right? Recently, our Minister Rafizi and one of the past lawmaker, I think his name is Shahil, did a debate on the model Baharu economy Malaysia. Now, some say Rafizi menang. You see, Cosmo Digital says Shahil tidak jawab soalan, hanya membaca. And then the other one is like, oh, Shahil cuba tahan diri kagum dengan kerajaan perpaduan. So on one side, if you read that side of news, you think that Rafizi won the debate. If you go into Harakah, you see differently. You see Shahil there saying, Menteri gagal tampil model economy Baharu. So in the same debate, there are winners from both sides. Who is the true winner? Well, it depends on what kind of news you read. If you read Harakah, you think PAS won. If you read Cosmo, you think that Rafizi won. So it depends on what kind of media you read. It affects how you see the world. It affects the sentiment of a certain issue. Now, this is something that is very, very hard for us to change because media has their own agency agenda. Media has their own people who pays them to make news. Very hard for us to change that. But what we can change is we change ourselves as media consumers. We educate ourselves to be critical of the news that we receive so that we won't get tricked by it. You know, when I read the headline by Harakah, Menteri gagal tampil model economy Baharu, on the first glance, if I don't have media literacy, I would think that that's the case. But on the second thought, if I have media literacy, I would think that, oh, it's reported by Harakah. Harakah has a certain agenda. So whatever Harakah say, I need to think of it from someone who has an agenda. So if we cannot change the media, then we change ourselves. Okay? And this is very, very important because we are living now what is called a post-truth world. We require our user who can differentiate facts and opinions and strategies and gossip. And this is something that is very, very, very important. Recently, there was just a news about, recently with the conflict that's happening in Israel and Gaza, there's lots of misinformation floating everywhere. You know, and even the European Union actually issued a statement telling Twitter, which is now X, saying that, you know, they are involved in spreading misinformation. Some of these misinformation are so bad that even trick world political leaders. So it's very, very important for everyone to be able to differentiate between facts, opinions, strategies, and gossip. Okay? And this is a very, very important thing. It doesn't just affect ourselves as an information receiver, but it can also have a large situation, larger repercussion. In a high literate, media literate society, we are going to celebrate democratic values. We are going to have better economic opportunities. We are going to have more awareness about our rights and responsibility. There will be less hate speech online because people are more careful about spreading information. And we have equal access to all these things. If we have low literacy, which is sometimes what I think Malaysia have, is that you have lots of fraud cases. You have lots of scam. And then you have lots of misinformation that creates tension, especially people who play on the issues of 3Rs, religion, race, and also royalty. You have this kind of tension being created. And it also interferes with the democratic process. Imagine election. You know, if someone would just pump in money to spy advertisement to talk about bad information. So all ultimately, right, as a society, we either benefit from media literacy or we get harm from not having media literacy. Now, the only difference between the good and bad situation is ourselves as a teacher to educate our students. We need educators like you, and thank you for joining, who can help our students to navigate this world that is so flooded with information. You know, maklumat di hujung jari really is that, you know, if I need to know anything, I just take out my phone, tekan, I will get all the information I need. Okay, but is the information I get, is that accurate or not accurate? Now that's something that is not sure. Okay. Now, before I move on, do you have any questions before I move into the third section pertaining why is it important to teach media information literacy? If there's no information, I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, let's play the game. Okay, so now in this follow me game, every one of you, you're going to be a media channel. You can either be a newspaper, you can be a radio, you can be a podcaster, you can be a blogger, you can be anything. So that's what you'll be playing in the game. You are a media channel. Second is that in this game world, there are going to be ethics points. Now, ethics points are very, very important because we know in a real world, media is going to do bad things sometimes. They're going to do wrong things sometimes. That is not saying that it's all right for them to do it, but that's just facts, right? You know, even all of us as human beings, we make mistakes sometimes. Now, in this game, there are going to be ethics points. If you do bad things, and if everyone do bad things will happen. Okay? And in this game world also, there are going to be citizens. These are all the citizens here that you need to try to make them your followers. Okay? These citizens are different age, different political views, different geography area, different gender, different, you know, gullibility score. They even look differently as well. Now, these citizens, they're going to be in the game. Your job is to put influence tokens on them to make them your followers. Okay, you in a game, you'll be given this kind of small tokens. All you need to do is that you take action, you put tokens on them. You put 3 tokens, you're influencing enough, that person will be converted and become your follower. If you get 3 followers in a game, you win the game. That's how the game works. Okay, I repeat that everyone is going to be playing as a media channel. You make decisions, which can be good or bad decision, ethical or unethical decision to get followers. And once you get 3 followers, you win the game. It is that simple. Okay. Now, every media channel also have specific specific people they are trying to get as a follower. So if you look at this podcaster live streamer, this is targeted at urban people, people who are between 0 to 26 years old, people who are liberal political view. So if you are a podcaster or live streamer, you need to get people with this criteria: urban, age like this, and also liberal political views. Okay. Now, in this world of 9 people, I can only get the first 6. Okay, which is those who are urban, those who are within this age group. Okay, so let me just backtrack a bit. Those who are urban, this is all the urban people. Kampong people is the people down there. Okay, I already take up. They cannot become follower. Okay, these age people and also liberal people. Okay, now all these people, they have to fulfill at least 1 criteria, and then they can be your followers already. Okay, now in every round you get an event. Okay, let's look at what is this event. An ice shelf in the Arctic has just broke apart and fell into the sea because of climate change. Climate change denier claims that the scientists are the ones who cut the ice. The ice fall into the sea not because of climate change, but because some scientists go there and cut the ice out. Now, in every event, you'll be given 3 different actions here. There is either going to be the green action, yellow action, or red action. Now, different action will have different outcomes. Okay, so if you take the green action, let me backtrack that. Every action you can see the outcome on the left side and right side. On the left side, it will be how many tokens you can put on. For example, here you can put 1 token on the conservative people, 1 token with the gullibility score of this. Okay. On the other side is the tokens that need to be removed. So in this example, the green action no need to remove any token. Now the middle one is either you lose or gain ethics points. Now, if the game loses all the ethics points, everyone loses in the game. Okay, the ethics point is determined by how many players in the game. If there is 4 players, there will be 3 ethics points in the game. If there's 5 players, there will be 4 ethics points in the game. Now, in the game, again, like I said just now, right, not everyone is going to do good thing all the time. If someone do a bad action that causes the ethics point reduced, which is fine if you do it 1 time or 2 times. But once all the ethics points finish, everyone loses the game. Okay, this is how we make sure that we recognize that people can make bad decisions, but also make it has consequences if you make bad decisions. Okay, now my question to you is that, is a green action good for you to take or not good for you to take? Is green action good or bad for you in this situation? Remember, you need to get liberal people, you need to get people of that age, you need to get urban people. Is this a good action or a bad action? What do you think? Bad? Too extensively is not good enough? Well, in this case, you need to get someone with this political view, but this political view is not your people. You need to get someone with, again, let's look at it carefully here. You need to get someone with the conservative political view. But, sorry, you need to get someone with a liberal. Liberal is your criteria, but this person is not liberal people. So you cannot get this person in, okay? Plus, moreover, you lose ethics point. So maybe this is not a very, very good action, okay? Let's move to the next one. Yellow action. Yellow action allow you to put a token on conservative citizen. You lose a token on liberal citizen. Now, is this a good action or bad action? Remember, you need to get liberal people. Is this a good or bad action? You will gain conservative token, you will lose liberal token, but you need liberal people. So correct, Cikgu Azman, this is a bad action because I cannot put on conservative people. I have to lose on liberal people. So I tak untung, I rugi sama. So it's also a bad action. Okay. Now let's look at the red one. The red one, put a token on liberal people, lose conservative people. Now, is this a good or bad action? I can put on liberal people, I need liberal people. I lose from conservative people, I don't care about conservative people. So is this a good or bad action? Okay, Cikgu Azman, good. This is a good action because I get to put token on people that I can follow. I will lose token on people that I don't really care, which probably I don't have anything on it anyway. So this is a good action, okay? I can put token from them, okay, if I want to. So red is a good action. However, before you go in, however, so in this green, yellow, red action, which one you want to take? Like I said just now, red is probably the good action, right? So in every round, when the event card come out, first thing you will do is that you look at the outcome, you choose an event you want to take, you choose an action you want to take. You want to take the green action, yellow action, or the red action. Or you can skip the event. There's a black action. So when you do the black action, you skip the event. Okay. Once you decide what action to take, you take your action card, you tutup dekat bawah, you put face down. So everyone will put face down. You don't know what everyone is playing. For example, if I'm playing with Rex, for example, I don't know what action Rex want to take. I don't know what action Shamala want to take. I don't know what action someone want to take. Okay. But we all decide our action and put down. And then we open one by one, and then we put the token in. Okay. So really, you don't know what everyone is. But before you take action, there's a secret agenda. So in this game, every player, you get your media channel card, which is in this case is podcaster or live streamer. You also get a secret agenda card. Okay. Remember I told you before, every media has an agenda. So in this game, we make you having an agenda. So in this agenda, in your case, is that your agenda is that you want to see the world burn. So when you see extremist tag, so at every event, in the top, some of the event on the top left corner, there is a tag. So it can be a extremist event, it can be a activist event, it can be a government event, it can also be a rumors event. So in this secret agenda, you want to see the world burn, you orang jahat, you nak laporkan segala-gala yang extremist. So whenever you see an event card extremist tag, which is this card, it has an extremist tag, you must take the green action. Tadi we say green action is bad, right? But in this case, tak kisah good or bad action, I kena ambil green action juga because I want to see the world burn. Okay? And on top of that, you get to put one more token. So yes, you have to take the action, but you get to put one extra token. So maybe you win some, you lose some, we don't know, but this is what you need to do. Okay? Now, you would need to take green action, even though you don't get new follower, you reduce ethics points. Okay? So this is how the secret agenda is. There's a total of 10 different secret agenda and 10 different channels. So every time you play, you may be different. Today, you are an extremist podcaster. Tomorrow, you may be an activist, activist newspaper. Next day, you might be a pro-government radio channel. So by mixing and matching the media channel and the secret agenda, the gameplay is unlimited possibility. Okay, so every round is different. Every round, the students realize something new. So in this round, right, you realize that actually, this is a conspiracy theory, obviously, climate change denier claims that ice scientists are the ones who cut the ice. This is conspiracy theory, obviously. You know, why would someone say that? Why would a media channel report that? But there are media channels who reports on conspiracy theory because they have a secret agenda. They just don't care about all these things. They just report it. Okay. So reflection. What is other example of conspiracy theory you have seen in the media? Why do people believe in conspiracy theory? And why do media still want to promote conspiracy theory? I'm sure you know in Malaysia we have a lot of magazines that tells a lot of this like conspiracy theory, hantula, all this, all that, mastika. You know, this kind of media, they report on conspiracy theory. Why do they report on conspiracy theory? Have you seen other conspiracy theory in the news before? You can type in the chat or you can unmute and say it. Is there any other conspiracy theory that you have seen before? Or do you have any idea why would some media choose to promote conspiracy theory? Any idea? Correct. Conspiracy theories are hard to prove that it's correct or wrong. But it's also, sometimes, even if you prove it, people don't believe that you prove it. Because they will say that, oh, so people share it, it must be true. Remember during COVID time, we have misinformation saying that, oh, you drink warm water, it can kill COVID virus. When you hear it so many times, right, then it becomes true already. Some conspiracy theory, for example, you know, last time, I think there was this news about Cadbury or some other chocolate not being halal. See, there's a conspiracy theory. They were like, oh, because it's one people want to, you know, menjahanamkan orang Muslim or whatever. So there's a lot of this conspiracy theory. Number one, yes, it may be hard to prove correct or wrong, but even sometimes, even given the facts, right, people will still believe in the wrong information. Okay, so yes, sometimes we just accept conspiracy theories, but kita malas, I don't want to process anymore. If many people say that minum air swam boleh bunuh COVID virus, if 100,000 people say, it must be true. So conspiracy theory just makes it difficult to prove it as wrong sometimes. Even sometimes the facts are all there, you feel that because many people say it's true, therefore it must be true. And sometimes also the conspiracy theories are much more interesting. Climate change, ice jatuh, boring. Climate change, sebab scientists pergi potong, this is a very interesting story. So sometimes conspiracy theories are more interesting than the real world story. Okay, and why do media continue to spread it even though there's no benefit to them? Like in this case, you know, you don't get new follower, but you still do the action. So in the real world, why do media channel do that? Why is it some media, even though they know that they will not get follower, they will still spread misinformation, they will still spread rumors, they will still spread conspiracy theory? Why? Why would they want to do it? They don't get any benefit, but they still do it. Why? Well, sometimes media still continue to do it. Psychological achievement, correct. They'll be like, oh yes, I tricked 100,000 people. I'm so happy. Yes, COVID is not a true disease. Very good. This is something very commonly see. I think there was a news last time, remember they said that, oh, you take the vaccine inside of microchip and then the 5G signal is going to affect you, or 5G signal causes COVID virus. It's very, very interesting. But it's also like, it makes you think, you know, makcik I share pasal ni, pakcik I share pasal ni, my neighbor share pasal ni, somewhere I read online share pasal ni, there's a WhatsApp group talking about it. So many people talking about it, this must be true. Okay, and back to the media channels still spread this information because they have a hidden agenda. In this case, you are given a hidden agenda. But in the real world, media has their own hidden agenda. Either someone give it to them or they themselves have the hidden agenda. Okay, let's go to the next event. Let's look at the next news. Female soldier in a province claimed that the army unit did a virginity check on the recruits. But then the army chief said, no such thing ever happened. So now, there is a female rights NGO come and say, hey, this is unacceptable. Government, you need to investigate it. You know, it's unacceptable that they do virginity check on female soldier. This is wrong. Okay, the female rights organization said, hey, you must investigate. Now let's look at what happens here. You are a tabloid now. You are a different media channel. You want to get urban people. You want to get people of this age. You want to get liberal people. And you have a hidden agenda. You are a feminist tabloid newspaper. Okay, you like to support feminists. Now, interestingly, you get this new ability. Regardless of channel, you can now also get moderate females or liberal female. Moderate liberal female, okay, tak apa. I already can get liberal people. Now I can also get moderate female. So there's a new criteria. I get more people this way. And not only that, just like I said that you need to put 3 tokens, right, on the female, or on any of the people can become, so that they can become your followers. But now, when you are a feminist media, you only need 2 tokens. Now, what would that make you do? Okay, so here, let's look at this picture again. Who can be your potential followers? So I already limit for you. These are your potential followers. They either match as liberal, they match in terms of either they match for liberal, or they match for age group, or they match for the geographic location. In the game, you need to match at least one. Now, because you are feminist, you can also get moderate female. Before this, you cannot get moderate female, but now you can also get moderate female. Actually, there's a mistake here. So this bottom left, without feminism, you cannot get her. But now with feminist, you can get her now. Okay. So what would you want to do? Let's look at the action. You do green action, you report about it and talk about how women are often sexual harassment target, which is true in Malaysia. You get more female followers. You see here, you get 2. You get to put 2 tokens on 2 female. If you don't, but then if you do this action, male you're gonna lose 1 male. If you talk about it, you talk about the female NGO, you talk about the military, you gain 1 male, you lose 1 female. And now if you talk about it and you defend the military, I said military cakap tak ada means tak ada. So then you gain 2 male, but you lose 1 female. Now, these 2 tokens can be placed on women card. Okay, which one would you want to do? Which is the best action here? Is it the green action, yellow action, or red action? Bear in mind that you have the feminism power, which means for liberal female, you put 2 tokens that become your follower already. So which one is the best action for you in this scenario? Is it the green action, yellow action, or the red action? Okay, yellow, Cikgu Noor Azman. Okay, red, Cikgu Claudius. Now, when you're playing this game, one very important, I will always make sure our students will know, is that you're not playing based on your personal belief. When you play this game, you're not Cikgu Claudius, you're not Cikgu Azman, you're not Cikgu Shamala. You are tabloid newspaper, you are the feminism agenda. So in this case, the best action is actually, like many people say, the green action. Kenapa? Because you can put 2 tokens on liberal female. I just put on that female there. I terus dapat dia sebagai my follower already. Because remember my special power, for any liberal female, I put the tokens there, I get her as my follower. I only need 2 tokens. So in this case, if I take the green action, if I take the green action, I can terus put 2 tokens on her. Because of my special power, she become my follower immediately. See? So now you see how our secret agenda works. It actually influences you to make a choice. Okay. So in this game, let's look at some of the reflection questions, right? So when you play this game, because there's so much variability, every time you play it's going to be different, because the combination of media channel and secret agenda will be different. The people on the screen will be different. So one thing that we encourage teachers to do, which we have in our lesson plan, is to do discussion questions. Okay. We allow students to discuss and let them relate the game experience to the real life experience. So in this case, right, because a feminism agenda makes them easy to get female follower. That's why you would choose action that get you female follower. And that's how agenda works, you know. A media, they have an agenda allow them to get a follower that they are more likely to get. And they go down that path further and further. There is many other agenda. Some agenda, they would use the power of PR. So here, Jonas, from Jonas' brother, before he got a divorce, he actually used the PR media to show him as a good father, so that people will side him. In the Russia-Ukraine war, we also can see Putin will use the media to justify and say that the war is necessary. If you look at, given the recent conflict in Israel and also Gaza, the Israeli newspaper will say it a certain way. The Western newspaper will say it a certain way. And then in the Islamic world, Muslim world, the media will say it differently as well. So again, all this hidden agenda, they just do it because it makes them easy to get followers. Just like in this case, by artificially making you easy to get female follower, you will take action and get more female followers. That is how the media agenda works. That is how media agenda influences you. This is different from the previous agenda. Previous agenda, I already tell you what you need to do. Here, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you the condition that would influence you to do the way I want you to do. And that's the power of agenda. And that is how agenda shape the decision of a media channel, depending on what agenda you have. Okay? So now, let's go into the next event. We're going to do a few events just to test it out. Now, in the game, just like I mentioned, there are 4 different action cards, which is red action card, yellow action, green action, and black action. There's a special action card that you can buy. So when you open the event card, it can either be the normal event, like this, normal event, like this, normal event, like this, a normal event card with the event and also the different action. It can also be a blue action card like this. A blue action card, so let's look at this one. It says here, look through the top 5 event card and rearrange them in any order that you want. You hit the first to resolve your action. So this kind of blue action card, when it's reviewed, right, the game automatically becomes what we call an auction round. So the game can either go into events round, which is what we did just now. You dump out event, I show you the event, you decide if you want to take green, yellow, or red action, or not do any action. That's the event round. There is also an auction round. Whenever you get a blue event card, like blue action card like this, the game becomes an auction round. So in auction round, everyone will decide how much they want to buy this card, and they will use the influence token. The same influence token that you put on the people card here. Okay, you see these two? This is the influence token. Every player is given 18 influence token, 18. Okay, so when you are in this auction round, you decide how much money you want to buy this event card. Okay, so you put the token that you want to spend, you put in your hand, and then 1, 2, 3, someone review. Okay, just like in a normal auction, whoever have the most money will get the card. Okay, but let's say I put 10 tokens inside here. So when I show I win the card, right? These 10 tokens I cannot use in the game anymore. I cannot use it and put on people card anymore. That's the decision you have to make. You want to spend your token to buy event card, to buy action card, or you know, put it on the people. It's up to the player. Okay, let's look at the next one. People against government media control campaign. Okay, all players must now review the action card. Whoever that play green action or event cards with the government tag will not be able to resolve the action. So now, if the event is a government action, if you do an event that support the government action, now you cannot do your action anymore. Not only that, you have to throw away influence token as well. So this is how you can use token to sort of kenakan your enemy or kenakan people who are winning. So this game allows for like people to kenakan each other. Just like you play Uno, right? Draw 2, draw 4 is like that also. Not only you have to think about how to make yourself win, you also think about how to make others do not win also. That's the beauty of the media game. Okay, this game. So now, in this game, we have these 3 different learning objectives. Depending on what you want the students to learn, you can actually make different tag. We have 56 different events. You can choose event that you think the student will be interested and form a different event tag. Or you can just say, I want my student about the role of media. So you take up all the role of media. And these are all possible discussion questions you can do or skills that you can teach your students when you're playing the game. Again, like I said, this game is highly customizable. You can make the game to teach anything you want to do. You want to teach if it's related to media information literacy. Okay, we have a base way of playing the game, which is very, very basic, but we also have the more complicated way of playing the game. Okay, ultimately, what you want the students' experience, what you want their learning experience to be, can affect your decision how you make the card game. It's a very, very involved game in the sense that students will need to really think about their role, think about what is the best action, and this is where the beauty of the game. You make students think. There are many card games that it's a lot of strategy, but not so much on like thinking about what is right and what is wrong. This game is a lot about thinking what is right and what is wrong. Thinking about how you need to make bad decisions, just like media need to make bad decisions. thinking about how you are forced to make certain decisions or you're encouraged to make certain decisions. And this is how we make this game. It's a media information literacy education game that can be custom-made, tailored to fit your different learning needs. Okay, so ultimately, in this world with lots of information online, it really doesn't matter anymore where we see the news, but it is also equally important for us to know how the news is made, who made the news, why the news is made, and where it comes from. Okay, so just to recap, this is all the steps we need to go through. Do you have any question before we go into the next step and closing? Before I continue, I can also just show you the card manual, just a quick one. Don't worry if you cannot follow the game. What we are explaining to you today is a very simplified way of playing the game. The full game is going to be sent to your house. You have the physical card game, and you get to see. We actually in every game. This is not the PDF file yet. We already print it, but I just want to show you. So you have a guidebook that will explain to you how to play the game. This is what you get in the card set. You get the channels card, you get the secret agenda card, you get the people card. There's 100 people in the game. Again, same thing, right? Every time you play the game, it will be different people. Every time you need to take 9 people out. So every round is different. This is the rule book. Yes, this is the instruction sheet. Every game set will have an instruction sheet. If you ever play board game, you will know that usually board game also have a reference card. We also give a reference card for you. The influence token, we explain to you what is the meaning of the game. And then this game is suitable between 4 to 8 players, 10 years old and above. Each game will take about 45 minutes, but we have ways to make the game faster. So channel, just like what I explained just now, everyone is a channel, different channel will have different geographic setting that you are looking for, age group, political views, and all these things. People card, every people card is the same. You have the gullibility score, you have their face, their geographic location, political views, age group. You have the people card and also influence token. You take action, you put the token on them. Whoever they put 3 tokens first, you get them as a follower. So now there could be a case where Cikgu Claudius and I, for example, we are both fighting for the same person. Dia letak 2, I letak 2, I put 2, he put 2. So I put a third one in, then I take that person. So you can be fighting for the same person at the same time. Okay, there is ethics points. If ethics point finish, everyone lose. But there is a secret agenda called unethical media. So for people unethical media, your job is to make sure that the game habiskan semua ethics points. But just like playing Mafia, right? If people find out who you are, you lose the game. So you see, we have all these things to make the game super interesting and super competitive. Then we have the event card. We have different event tags. We have the government event, activist event, extremist event, or rumor event. We have the learning outcome as well. Like I said just now, you can make a different event tag depending on your learning needs. You want to teach about ethics? Okay, then you make a whole deck, event card, this is more ethics. If you want to teach about role of media, you can also make a deck with all role of media. Then we just explain how it looks like. I already go through each one with you. So sometimes you also have like the gaining and also the losing ethics point. Now, in the game, you can lose more than 1 ethics points per turn, but you can only gain 1 ethics point per turn. It's easier to lose them than to gain them. And you cannot gain more than what you started with. Okay, all the explanation, which I went through just now. So it's really a simple game. Actually, it's not very difficult card game. And then the blue action, the auction round, what happened in the auction round, and then event round, what happened in event round. We even have the secret agenda. There are different secret agenda here. How to play the game. Okay, so now we know every classroom is different, and not everyone can play the full game. We also create customized game. Contohnya, you don't have 45 minutes. Then you can just do a rapid game. How to make the game go faster. A rapid game can last between 15 to 25 minutes. So you make the game shorter. This is what you do with the game rules. If you're playing with younger children, maybe they don't know how to read or they are less literate. This is how you do with the younger children. Or you can play with a classroom game, with a large group. Okay, it doesn't have to be one play. It can also be a group versus group. Okay, and then you can customize the event. You nak semua government boleh. You nak semua extremists boleh juga. You want to go with all about ethics also can. So you can customize the event deck to have different learning objective. You can also customize the people. In this game, there are 100 people. We tell you how is the percentage, right? We have 30% rural, 70% urban. If you want to change the percentage, boleh je, you just manually adjust it. I want it to be semua rural people. Now, a game with all rural people would benefit media channel with rural people. This game is also designed not to be equal. If you are a media channel that relies on rural people, it may be difficult for you to get people because we only have 30% rural people. That's also the reality. In the real world, more people live in urban than living in the rural area. Okay. Yeah, so that's about it. We have feedback form in the game, teach you more about game, we have a new center here. So really, it's going to be a very straightforward game. What I have just explained to you, it is the base game, how the normal game is played, and the simplified version. In the full game, you have the guidebook and all that. The game is available in 4 different languages depending on your needs. So for example, if you teach English, you may want to play with English card game so the students can understand it or use it as a learning teaching aid. Or if you teach in a more rural setting or students don't speak English, that's fine, we have Malay card game. If you teach in SMJK school or your students are primarily Chinese speaking, you'll set it in Chinese game. So really the game has all kinds of ways for you to fit it in your learning situation. Okay, so let's go to the next step. You are done with phase 2 already. You have finished the training. What is next? Now, next step, you fill in our feedback form. We'll get your address. We'll post you the card game, okay, for you to do the activity in the classroom. We'll communicate to you via email, so make sure you fill in your email correctly in the Google form later, okay? And then you get to do this card. We are excited to share with you the cards, actually. Even I'm so excited, I will bring the card to the US, actually. So this is all the card. This is how it looks like. It's actually really small. It just looks like a poker card size. We have 2 different card size. So this is the normal upper 2 paper card and also the channel card. This is how the event card looks like. Okay, it's like a parrot card. So altogether, the box is roughly about the size of a Tupperware. So it's really small. You can bring it anywhere you want. One thing that we also hear teachers telling us is that you can also do this during a relief time. You know, when you go to relieve the class, you don't know what to do, bring the card in the school. You know, students love playing card games. Okay, so the next 3 steps for you here. Step 1, fill in the feedback form to get CGL and to get the card game. Refer to the lesson plan and then use the follow me game card. We'll also email you all this information, so jangan risau. Have a good weekend first. We'll make sure to email to you next week on all these things, before next week on all these things. We'll post you the game card and you get to do the activity. If you do not have the game card, you can also use the teaching materials, which also share with you. These are slides and also big cards that you can use. You can just print one set, very big card. You can just do a few events in the class, just like what I did with you. Okay, what I did with you is that I know you don't have the card. I don't have the card to share with you, but I can use a slide to demonstrate, to demo all this thing with you. Okay, and then at the end of the month, they will submit the project for the small grant completion paper. Okay, again, make sure you fill in the feedback form correctly. That's how we will communicate with you. And we are quite on time, actually. This is the feedback form, so I'm going to leave it here for you guys to see for the next 10 minutes if you have any question, or the next like 5 to 10 minutes. So don't forget to fill in the feedback form. This is how we communicate with you. This is how we get your information. This is how we know where to send the game cards to you. This is all the important dates that you should follow. The same training is also available online on YouTube as well. So if you miss the training or any parts that I talk that is too fast, you cannot follow, you can go to our YouTube channel and follow our video. Okay? So if you have any questions, this is the email to email us, mediaedu4all@rusacademy.org.my. This is all important links here. Follow us on our social media. See, I'm also asking you to follow me. Follow us on our social media at our Telegram group, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Our handle is mediaedu4all. So I'll go back to the feedback form slide for you to scan the QR code. My colleague should be typing this in the chat for you to click on it to fill in the feedback form. Now, if you have any question, please feel free to type it out so I can see if I can answer your question. Okay, we have 10 minutes Q&A. Yes, very good. If you have any questions, just ask it away and I'll see what I can do to support that. Thank you so much for coming for our training. I hope you enjoyed this training and I'm really excited to share with you our card game. And let's make Malaysia a media literate society. Thank you very much. And please fill in the feedback form. If you're already done filling in, you have no question, you can leave the call now. Thank you very much for your participation. Of course, you can share on your moment on Instagram and tag Arus. We are more than happy for you to do it. Our social media handle is Arus Academy for Arus. Our Media Edu for All is Media Edu for All. Okay, thank you, Shamala, for coming to the workshop. I hope you enjoy the workshop. If you have any question, just type it in. Let me just make sure I share it correctly. Before I forget, before you leave the call, can we just get a group photo? Can you just turn on your camera for like 30 seconds for us to take a photo? Just turn on your camera, jangan pergi. Just turn on your camera so we can take a group photo together. Okay, I see Cikgu Azman, Cikgu Madeline, Cikgu Evelyn, Cikgu Hanis, Cikgu Rezwan, Cikgu Parasakti, Cikgu Lidiana. Just turn on your camera, Cikgu Nomi also. So we can take a group photo together. Cikgu Claudius, hi Cikgu Claudius. Cikgu Chi, Cikgu Woon or Cikgu Chi, sorry. Yes. Okay, someone ready? Let's take a group photo. Okay. Rex, ready?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I will give counting, and then you guys, teacher, smile. Yeah. All right. Ready. 1, 2, smile. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Dah boleh tutup balik the camera. I will share the slide again one more time so that you can fill in the feedback form for those who haven't filled in yet. And thank you so much for coming. We have time for another 6 more minutes for Q&A if you have any questions. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. Instagram.com/mediaedu4all. Tag us. Facebook page is the same as well. Just look for us on Media Edu for All. And don't forget to ajak your friend. So if you have more card set, just get your other teacher to watch the recording, see the feedback form, and we'll post it to you. Okay? Thank you so much for coming. We have another 6 more minutes for Q&A if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed today's training, and I cannot wait to see what kind of amazing community project your students are going to make for us. Okay, we have 5 more minutes for Q&A. If you already fill in the form, already take picture, you have no question, you can leave the call now. We'll share the recorded session with you after this, or you can also just watch it on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming. We have 4 more minutes for Q&A. If you have any questions, type in the chat, or if you are done, thank you, Cikgu Claudius. I cannot sleep yet. I have to write my essay tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying the amazing hot weather in Malaysia and the amazing food in Malaysia. Thank you, Cikgu Izani. Thank you, Cikgu Evelyn. 3 more minutes for Q&A. If you are done, you can just leave the call already. We are just hanging around just for some Q&A session, Q&A question. Don't forget to follow us. See, I pun nak minta you follow me also. Follow me on Media Edu for All. We are 2 minutes before we close the call. No problem. I'm confident Cikgu Madeline boleh actually. Senior tak penting. Yang penting kena ada niat untuk mengajar murid. And I'm sure Cikgu Madeline ada niat dan juga minat untuk ajar murid. Terima kasih. Thank you so much for doing what you are doing. Okay, lagi 2 minit untuk Q&A. Ada soalan tak untuk tanya ataupun komen? Kalau tak, jangan lupa untuk isikan the borang. Don't forget to fill in the borang before you leave the call. Don't worry, Cikgu Idea Adaha. I think even as a guru pelatih, you're already so interested in it. I cannot wait to see you in the classroom. Okay, last 1 minit sebelum call ini ditamatkan. If you have any question, type in the chat. Otherwise, you can leave the call now. Thank you so much for joining. For everyone. If you miss the workshop or you're only joining in halfway, don't worry, the session is recorded, it's available online on our YouTube channel right now. But if you fill in our feedback form, we'll actually send you a recap of the video as well, just to let you know what we have been doing and also give you all the information that you need. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think this is time now. We are going to end the call now. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good weekend. Okay. And cut for the end of the call. Thank you so much, everyone.